2, 3, go.
Hi there, well Miriam and
Hello.
Hello. Miriam and I are here in Uganda and we've come to a community which started PEP in, I think it was about 2001, wasn't it? 2002, and they started under this mango tree. And the church gathered and they started reading the Bible and they started exploring about how God wants good things for his people and how they've got natural resources around them and their own strength and things as well to actually help them address things. And it's amazing, we've seen so much today.
We've just so many stories. Just behind us is a hospital. There's a whole advocacy thing going on with PEP, where because communities are feeling empowered, they are challenging their own governments to invest in their people and do the jobs, hold the government to account. So that new hospital building that's a maternity ward behind us, that's because the community began to do their own healthcare and then called the government to account, and the government said, okay, now we will come and take action with you and build this together. That was an incredible moment.
Yeah, and over here, that was off the back of a clinic that they built, where they started with that, and they also have a house at the back where a doctor can live. And very often in Uganda, a doctor would be miles and miles away. They'd only be in a town, a big town, way away, where there's and they would be serving a huge area. So it's quite extraordinary that the government have come in here to bring their resources off the back of what the church have done.
Yeah, amazing, absolutely
amazing. And we
amazing.
saw that we've been to a school. That was wonderful. A man had a vision for a school because they realised when they did this process of thinking and an analysis of the needs of the community that only 3 people from their community had ever been to higher education. So they decided in 10 years' time we want that to be different. And they started as a church raising money so their children could go to school, giving not just for their own children but for children in the community. And they talked about, didn't they, how they'd always imagined education was for the rich people, but they've realised no, God wants education for everyone. So now they have a vision for everyone to go to school. And I think they've got about 40 people they talked about now.
They've got kids that are achieving higher than the city schools that have been going for years. That's how well their teaching is going. 240 pupils so far, and it's still growing. One of the challenges for them was they realised there was no doctor ever from this area. So who on earth was going to move back here and be a doctor? So the community said, well, we'll start educating our children, so we'll raise our own doctors. Astounding.
It is, and there's wonderful. I love all the church planting going on from
here. Oh, there's
well.
Loads of church planting.
So we met this guy today, and you'll have to help me out with this, Miriam, but there was someone who was just like drinking. He was a drunkard, he was hanging around there, and this other
Possibly
guy came
there.
along. But yeah, actually,
is that
it was,
bar?
Yeah, it was that bar over there.
There's a bar behind the trees.
And so this other guy that we've met today came along and started hanging out, and rather than starting preaching bad news, and he started preaching good news to them. And slowly, one by one, they were kind of converted. And actually now, they've planted from that about 6,
I think it might be 8 churches, but that
From
bar
that
is
bar.
now a church. So the whole thing's being converted, and all the guys that were drinkers and just getting shouted at about hell have now met Jesus and are sharing good news, and it's just multiplying out all over the place.
And this is just, it's a place that's actually, just even looking over here now, it's a peaceful place. It's a place where it feels peace reigns, where there's a shalom that exists here. It's beautiful as people are just realising that actually God wants life to be good. He doesn't like poverty, and actually his heart for people is to flourish. And the church has been at the heart of driving that forward as they've just met to read the Bible together. It's been wonderful, isn't it great?
Amazing. We're going to carry on and see some more things, actually.
Okay, so see ya.
See you later.